Hey everyone, so XRP, let me show you what I'm seeing here. I've got the 1-day chart pulled up, and man, this thing is looking bullish. We're chilling at $2.61 right now. And if you flip over to the 7-day view, we're literally just 22 cents away from where we were sitting before everything crashed. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Everyone and their mother thinks we're going to pop off from here. And you know why? Because in 2017, we had this exact same pattern. There was a crash, everyone freaked out, and then boom, we exploded. But let me tell you something. This market has been absolutely insane. Like, nobody has a crystal ball here. We're still dancing to Bitcoin's tune. So if Bitcoin wakes up on the wrong side of the bed and crashes, well, we're all crashing together. That's just how it works. Don't get me wrong. I'm feeling good about a breakout from this level. I really think it's coming, but listen, you got to protect yourself. Always prepare for the worst in crypto. That's not being negative, that's being smart. And look, Bitcoin just crawled back over $115,000. Can we just moon already? Because I'm sitting here wanting this just as much as you, and every time it feels like we're finally breaking through, like this is actually it. Prepare yourself. You're about to experience those crazy sleepless nights where you're checking your phone at 3 a.m. The exciting part is literally happening right now, and then out of nowhere, something smacks the market back down. I'm really hoping we keep pushing upward. Right now, it's this nice gradual climb that feels sustainable. And then Peter Brandt comes out and says, as someone who studies classical charting and market history like it's his religion, has there ever been a cleaner long-term chart than what XRP is showing us right now? The man's not wrong. This chart looks insanely bullish for this crypto. Then you've got Bill Morgan jumping in like, hey, I'm not really a chart person myself, but every chart person I talk to thinks this looks incredible. It's definitely not yelling at you. And anyone who's selling at these current prices, I'm just going to say it. You're going to regret that decision big time. The opportunity to grab XRP at these levels is disappearing fast because I truly believe we're going to witness the start of the breakout any day now. XRP is setting up for a classic 2017 repeat performance. Here's how it played out back then. Flash crash happened, everyone lost their minds, and then they're discussing the breakout that followed. Right now, the XRP chart is looking almost identical to 2017. We're following that pattern pretty much perfectly, but here's my warning. Something could totally derail this because this whole cycle has been pure madness so far. But listen, charts don't mess around. The chart's still developing exactly like it's supposed to. The price action is behaving the way it needs to. Everyone's out here attempting to time the market perfectly. Sometimes people actually get it right, and honestly, I think they're just getting lucky when it works out. XRP is just cruising along, doing its usual thing, nothing crazy yet. But here's what I need you to understand. When this rocket finally ignites, you're going to wish you were holding a bag because we're about to see crypto go absolutely vertical. It's happening. Nate Gary pointed out something fascinating. The second this government shutdown wraps up, those spot crypto ETF floodgates are going to explode open. The irony is almost too perfect, right? The same mess crypto was designed to fix, mounting debt, political circus acts. That's exactly what's blocking these ETFs from launching. Everyone's just sitting here refreshing their feeds, waiting for those spot XRP ETFs. We had everything teed up beautifully for next week. Then bam, government shutdown throws a wrench in the whole thing and pushes everything back. Now they're projecting this shutdown lasting over 35 days, which would shatter records as the longest shutdown in American history. For us XRP holders, more waiting, unfortunately. My gut tells me these ETFs are going to be the match that lights the entire alt season fire with XRP leading the charge. Like the institutional money pouring into these funds, I'm convinced people are massively underestimating the XRP demand here. We're going to watch records get demolished daily. These institutions are literally lined up at the door ready to pile in. TD Cohen threw out there that the crypto market structure bill might need to sit on the shelf until after midterms, another delay staring us in the face with some analysts thinking it stretches beyond the midterm elections. My take, they're going to fast track the whole thing. I really think this thing's about to punch through way faster than anyone's expecting. And here's why we're all sitting on our hands waiting. The market structure is setting up beautifully for utility cryptos. I'm not even talking about the meme coins and speculation plays. I mean, the cryptos that actually solve problems, the ones with genuine real-world utility. And buckle up, because I'm expecting some serious volatility to kick in today. So here's the deal. U.S. analysts are calling it Jerome Powell's probably going to hint at a rate cut today. If he drops that signal, we could see the market absolutely rip higher. But flip side, if he comes out sounding hawkish, talking about holding rates steady or delaying cuts, crypto's not going to like that one bit. We're probably looking at a quick downturn if that's the play. Now throw this wrench into the mix. Trump's lining up a sit-down with the Chinese president. Korea's Treasury Secretary just confirmed it's happening, so this is real. And then, boom, you've got this headline dropping. The US and China are kicking off the trade war tomorrow. Well, technically today, actually, with these fresh port fees rolling out, China's firing back, saying the fees are totally justified before America drops the hammer with their 100% tariffs. Global markets are literally sweating bullets right now. Part of me wonders if someone's orchestrating this whole thing just to shake everyone out. I honestly can't tell if they're just tossing this news out there to mess with everyone's heads and create all that panic and confusion, or maybe, just maybe, the president and China are going to sit down and figure something out they can both actually agree on. And if that happens, watch the market take off. I'm feeling pretty good about it happening. Fingers crossed it does. Yeah, buckle up for some serious ups and downs today. All right, so XRP's open interest just went bonkers after this supposed $32 billion surge. But hold on a second. They're throwing around this $32 billion market cap number, right? When you dig into the actual market cap multiplier, though, the real cash that flowed in was probably nowhere near that. We're likely looking at something in the millions range. But here's what we do know for sure. The appetite for XRP is absolutely massive. We've watched this movie play out 100 times now. Price dips, everyone rushes in to scoop it up. Every single time. And it makes total sense when you think about it. People who truly get what XRP was built for, they understand what they've got in their hands. They're not going to let a golden opportunity just walk away. That's why when this crash went down, you saw people flooding in like crazy. They recognized it instantly. Oh snap, another shot at grabbing more XRP. Nobody wants to be that person 6 months from now kicking themselves for not pulling the trigger. Why was that the bottom? Think about it. $19 billion liquidated in one move. Every long position got absolutely destroyed. Even the 2 times leverage traders got wiped. All the panic sellers jumped ship, open interest crashed down hard, and fear levels went through the roof. You had everyone screaming that the top was in, but hold on. This wasn't your typical flash crash. This was the market hitting the reset button right before things go parabolic, and I'm totally on board with that theory. This felt like the universe shaking out all the weak hands one last time before we really take off. The amount of people I saw trying to dump their bags was crazy. My entire X feed was full of it. People were literally melting down like, I need to sell, but Coinbase won't load. I'm trying to get out, but Uphold crashed. Just complaint after complaint about exchanges being offline. Plot twist though, those crashes probably did everyone a favor because selling into that drop would have been the worst move possible. You either load up more bags or you literally just close the charts and walk away. That's it. Those are your only 2 options. Here's my golden rule. Never, ever sell on a red day. If you're just starting out in crypto, tattoo this on your brain. Red days are not for selling. You scoop up coins when the streets are running red. When everyone around you is absolutely losing it and panic mode is at maximum, that's when you strike. Not when everyone's celebrating and throwing confetti saying, yep, that's the top right there. Top's definitely in. Get ready to hear that on repeat for months. Everybody dreams of being the genius who perfectly calls the top. So every day without fail, you'll scroll past someone confidently declaring that XRP just hit its peak, lock in some profits right now, then sit back and watch it climb even higher. Yeah, there's going to be dips along the way. You know what's wild? Most people never mention that part. They're out here screaming, up only for weeks. But nobody wants to talk about the pullbacks. Guess what? They happen. We're in crypto. You should be used to those dips by now. Here's the thing though. You gotta pay attention to what's happening in the world around you. What are people saying? How much money is actually pouring into those ETFs? There's going to be so many things to watch for during alt season. And this alt season, it's going to be completely different because institutional money is showing up for the very first time ever. People aren't even thinking about that. Look at all these predictions floating around. $7 to $9 XRP, right? They're not factoring in the ETFs. They're not factoring in ISO standards. They're not factoring in the possibility of regulatory clarity. Maybe even Ripple getting that banking license. None of that's even included in their calculations. The market cap multiplier on top of that. So when you catch those underwhelming predictions floating around, that's just them playing it safe with normal cycle math. They're copying and pasting what went down in past cycles. But wait a second, this cycle's already throwing curveballs left and right. When you open up XRP and see it parked back here at $2.60, then you glance at that 7-day movement and notice us inching upward bit by bit. There's absolutely no way. You can't stare at that chart and not feel pumped about what's around the corner. If we keep marching higher like we've been doing, I'm betting we're going to see a serious breakout trigger at some point. Chances are we'll watch the breakout kick in. Alongside Bitcoin, and now everyone's chirping about how Bitcoin cycle's getting dragged out as well. They're all claiming everything kind of froze up after the crash went down. Now they've got to rebuild trust in Bitcoin before it blasts through to a fresh all-time high. That's literally why Bitcoin's hype machine is dominating mainstream media coverage today. But check this out. Once Bitcoin actually touches the peak, and I genuinely believe the peak's arriving way faster than folks expect. I'm watching people throw around predictions that Bitcoin's going to keep rallying into next year. I'm not making the call yet. But if I had to bet, Bitcoin's probably going to hit its peak somewhere around late 2025, and the alts, they're going to keep partying into 2026. But hold on, there's another piece to this puzzle, utility. Is utility actually the thing driving XRP's price right now? How much real adoption are we actually witnessing? Is this the early stage of something absolutely huge with tokenization? You can't ignore that stuff. Here's what I'm getting at. There's just so much on the table we need to consider before anyone starts thinking about selling. Picture this scenario. You take profits at $10, feeling pretty good about yourself. Then you sit there watching XRP rocket to 20, maybe even $30. You're going to be sitting there like, why didn't I wait? That's exactly why it's smart to just take a breath and observe everything unfolding around us. Build it into your playbook to really listen to what people are talking about. What moves are the banks making? What's happening at the presidential level? Does the energy feel bearish around XRP? Or is everybody still riding that wave of excitement? How much retail FOMO are we witnessing right now? There's just a mountain of things to monitor because this cycle is nothing like 2017. Sure, there are similarities on the surface, but we've got significantly more catalysts in play this time. So until the picture gets clearer, just hang tight and keep that positive mindset. All right, I'm closing this one out. Really appreciate you all tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a fantastic night.